I'm 91 years old, and I've learned something far too late in life. Success, the kind I chased for 60 years, it can't replace connection. It just can't. This house is full of awards, plaques, and photographs of me shaking important hands. But the rooms are quiet, and the silence is a heavy price for a life I thought I was building correctly. If this story resonates with you, I hope you'll take a moment to subscribe so that these lessons aren't lost to time. When I was young, say, in my 20s and 30s, the world felt like a great ladder I had to climb. My father, he was a simple man, worked with his hands. He always told me, "Son, make something of yourself. Don't end up like me." And I took that to heart. I saw his tired hands, his quiet disappointments. I swore I would be different. I would be important. So I worked. I worked on weekends. I worked through holidays. I told my wife, Mary, that it was all for us, for our future, for the children. She would say, "John, the kids have a school play today." I'd reply, "I know, honey, but this deal won't close itself. Next time, I promise." There were so many next times. I was building an empire, you see, or so I thought. I was a good provider. That was my mantra. The kids had the best schools, the finest clothes, vacations we could barely find time for. I saw my success in the things we owned, not in the time we shared. I believed I was showing my love through my absence. It sounds foolish now, doesn't it? But at the time it felt like a noble sacrifice. Every missed dinner, every forgotten anniversary, it was a brick in the foundation of our secure future. The damage wasn't a sudden storm. It was a slow erosion. A quiet drift. It happened in moments I barely noticed. My son stopped asking me to play catch in the yard. He just stopped. My daughter started going to her mother for advice about everything because Dad was always on a call. Mary would sit with me at the dinner table when I was there, and her eyes would have this far-off look. I'd ask what was wrong. She'd just shake her head and say, "Nothing. Just tired." I didn't understand she was tired of waiting, tired of being second to my ambition. I remember one evening, I came home with a huge promotion. I was ecstatic. I'd finally reached the top. I walked in, expecting cheers, celebration. Mary was in the kitchen. She looked at the papers I was waving and gave me a small, sad smile. "That's wonderful, dear," she said, but her voice was hollow. That evening there was no celebration, just the usual quiet. The kids were already in their rooms. I sat in my expensive armchair in my big, beautiful house, and for the first time I felt a deep, chilling loneliness. I had won the race, but I was standing at the finish line alone. The real turning point, the moment the blindfold was truly ripped from my eyes, was when Mary got sick. It was cancer, and it was fast. Suddenly, all the deals, the meetings, the titles, they meant nothing. I sat by her bedside, day after day, holding her frail hand, the same hand I had let go of so many times to answer a phone call or rush to the office. We talked more in those 3 months than we had in 30 years. She told me about the plays I missed, the school concerts where she'd saved me a seat that stayed empty. She didn't say it with anger, just with a quiet sadness. She told me she was proud of me, but she missed the man she married, the one who would make her laugh over a burnt dinner. One afternoon, she looked at me and said, "You built a wonderful life. John, I just wish you had been here to live in it with us." She passed away a week later. After she was gone, the silence in the house became deafening. My children, now grown with families of their own, they visit. They're good children. They're dutiful. They call on holidays. But there's a distance, a polite, respectful distance. We talk about their work, their kids, the weather. We don't talk about the things that matter. We don't know how. I never taught them. The foundation I built with missed moments wasn't one of connection, but of formality. They see me as a figurehead, a successful patriarch. They don't see me as Dad, the man they can cry with or laugh with uncontrollably. I am a photograph on the wall they admire, not a person they turn to for comfort. And that is what can't be fixed. I can't go back and sit in that empty chair at the school play. I can't take back the next time I promised Mary. I can't rebuild the easy, effortless bond that only comes from shared time, from being present. My awards are just polished metal. My money is just paper. When you're 91 and you're sitting in a quiet house, you realize the only currency that ever mattered was time. And I spent mine on the wrong things. So I'm talking to you now from the end of my road. Don't make my mistake. Don't assume you have more time. The people in your life are not a given. They are a gift. Your presence is the most valuable thing you will ever give them. That promotion, that next big project, it will fade. But the memory of you being there, that lasts. Answer their calls. Go to the silly school events. Put down your work and listen to their day. Build your life on moments, not on milestones. Because in the end, it's the connections that hold you up. The success. It's just a heavy weight you end up carrying alone. If this story has meant something to you, please consider sharing your own thoughts in the comments. Hearing your experiences, it helps ease the quiet. A good friend of mine has written some wonderful books that touch on these very themes about living a more connected life. You can find a link to them in the description below. Thank you for listening. Truly, thank you.